I'm hoping this works. I'm using my phone has a microphone. Let me make sure this is set up.
I'm using my phone.
Okay. I know the webcam quality is shit. It's because it's my laptop. But I didn't feel like setting up my phone and to go live. So I'm like, well, let me do this. Plus, in order to use my phone has a microphone, I borrowed like 99 cents, aka $1 from my mom's card. That subs doesn't text me during this live, freaking the fuck out, being like, $1? And I'm like, well, you think of $1 nowadays is $1 is like 1 penny. That doesn't exist no more nowadays. But I want to talk about NASCAR. Getting an email. Where do I even begin? Well, I'm on my laptop, so I can pull up the NASCAR lawsuit shit with 2311. I want to read some of the text that I posted a video yesterday, and I said I wasn't gonna put text messages or read text messages. Well, I'm to the point today where I'm gonna read them. See if I can find them. Okay, this is from motorsport.com. I'm just going to read this article. Richard Childress exploring legal action over NASCAR executive text. It's yet another issue in the sport that may need to be settled before a judge. And this is from Matt Reaver on motorsport.com. Richard Childress Racing said in a Monday statement that legal action is being contemplated after its eponymous team owner was insulted by NASCAR executives in text messages unsealed as part of the ongoing 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports lawsuit against the sanctioning body. RCR and Richard Childress are deeply disappointed by the insensitive and defamatory statements made about Mr. Childress and recently surfaced text messages between NASCAR executives Steve Phelps and Brian Herbst. These comments reflect the way certain NASCAR executives have historically viewed and treated many team owners like Mr. Childress, who have devoted their lives to strengthening the sport for its fans, its sponsors, and all who compete in it. RCR and Richard Childress are equally disappointed for the NASCAR fans, with whom Mr. Childress closely identifies given his humble and hardworking background. Mr. Childress and the organization will issue no further statements regarding leaks or other defamatory text messages that have recently surfaced, as legal action is being contemplated and discussed with legal counsel. And the 2023 text messages that were unsealed on Friday night, NASCAR Commissioner Steve Phelps said Childress needs to be taken out back and flogged. He's a stupid redneck who owes his entire fortune to NASCAR in a text conversation with Chief Media Officer Brian Herbst. Phelps added again that Childress is an idiot, and if they don't like the sport, sell your charter and get out. And for good measure, he told Herbst again that, did I mention that Childress is an idiot? The the Amius dates back to a Sirius XM NASCAR radio hit where Childress says some things about the state of the charter negotiations that didn't sit well with NASCAR leadership. Specifically, Childress said he couldn't build 14 Gen 6 cars for the price of 7 next gens. And when asked if the new TV deal could be a positive, he said, for who? Since then, the Childress team has also been penalized in two significant ways, having Austin Dillon's playoff status stripped following a win at Richmond in 2024, in which the driver crashed both Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano on the final lap in the final corner to do so. Austin Hill also lost his playoff points for a right rear hook intentional crash of Eric Amarillo this year. At the time, Childress said he was just a dumb redneck when asked if he felt the penalties were personal, insinuating that he knew to a degree what had been said. Over the weekend, NASCAR officials have said privately that Phelps has reached out to Joseph to notify him of the impending unsealed text messages, but no details have emerged over the contents of that conversation. Okay, I want to open Twitter/X. So let's do that. Like this whole like this is it's like we're today's basically over, so we're 6 days out from December 1st, aka the trial beginning. And do I think a settlement could happen? I don't think so. Within 6 days? Like, are you fucking insane? I don't think so. Hang on, let me read this tweet from Bob Pockers. Oh, that's just great. Bob Pockers 2 hours ago. Let me click on the tweet so it pops up bigger. The 2311 slash Front Row Motorsports, or let me reread that. The 2311 slash Front Row, let me reread it again. The 2311 slash FRMV NASCAR case won't be the only time U.S. District Court Judge Kenneth Bell sees NASCAR industry folk in his courtroom. He was just assigned the Kyle / Samantha Bush lawsuit against Pacific Life Insurance Company, which Pacific Life removed from NC court to federal court. Oh, this is likely a coincidence. And I said it that way because I just read a comment that was replying to Bob Parker's tweet I just read. This one is likely a coincidence. Typically, the clerk's office has a system for assigning cases to judges that is a rotation based on either last name or length of time serving as a judge, i.e., if the insurance company went to remove it 2 hours later and somebody else had filed a lawsuit in between, it would have gone to a different judge. But I am sure that there's going to be chamber jokes about being NASCAR for sure. Yep. Yep. Like my whole Twitter For You page literally is just filled with this NASCAR fucking bullshit. But it's insane. RIP to headphone users. Oh, I wonder if. Okay. This is from Kenny Wallace from an hour ago. Let me see how the audio would be if I was to do this. You won't be able to hear it, or be able to see it, but hear it. Okay, the audio is terrible. Am I even connected to the right RIP headphone users?
RP headphone users.
Okay, I am. So why is the audio so terrible? Okay. I was trying to do something that fixed the audio. Ain't no way my phone audio is terrible. Like, ain't no way
My phone audio is terrible. Like, ain't no way.
Okay. It might be because it's like coming from a laptop, and yeah, I don't know. And why is my live like glitching out? It's like whenever I move a whole bunch, this one's like glitches out. Might be because it's still reconnected. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna type in on Twitter. I think I'm back. We're going to go back to what I was doing. I'm going to type in on Twitter NASCAR lawsuit, and we're going to see what pops up. We're going to go to the latest on tab. Oh, and I did see this because somebody was like something about NASCAR podcast, and Jeremy Mayfield. They spelled Jeremy Mayfield, right? Put this on Twitter, so I'm looking forward to it. But let me pull up the exact so I can read verbatim what he said. Oh, wait, let me see if Bob Podcast responded to his tweet about this. No, he's not. That's just said. Okay, yeah, somebody put this on Twitter and Jeremy Mayfield responded to it. Zero covers of the biggest news in NASCAR history. Corey LaJoie, Skip Flores, where's your podcast? Landon Cassill, Parker Kligerman, where's your podcast? Jordan Bianchi, Jeff Gluck, where's your podcast? Dale Jr., where's your podcast? Denny Hamlin, where's your podcast? Like, he literally, like, tagged everyone, these podcast people. He tagged them, like, their Twitter handles. Tagged them. And I see why there's not no Denny Hamlin podcast, because Denny Hamlin's a part of this, so he can't talk. Legality reasons. And Corey LaJoie, that podcast is a NASCAR podcast. So clearly Corey LaJoie is not going to come out and say nothing. Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck, their podcast, their thing, they're going to do it, I believe, every single day next week after. So yeah. And Jeremy Mayfield responded, I've got one coming. Does that count? And Jeremy Mayfield doesn't have a podcast. I don't believe. I mean, I did search for it only on YouTube. But I believe if he's going to do a podcast, he's doing a podcast with somebody who already has a podcast. So I'm wondering who that could be. Would be interesting if he was doing a podcast with Dale Jr. But okay. To the answer where Dale Jr., where's your podcast? To that, I don't see, because Dale Jr. is a team owner. So I think that's why Dale Jr. is not going to come out and say shit, is because he's a team owner. He can't say shit. And it breaks my heart because I want to know, like, I want Dale Jr. to put out a podcast. Like, I want more than anything to see a Dale Jr. podcast. But that can't happen because he's a team owner. I mean, yeah, technically it probably somehow could, but I believe he could be outed as team owner. Like, I don't know. Just something really bad could come from that. And we all know Dale probably really wants to come out with a podcast episode being like, So I don't know. But yeah. But let's go back to searching NASCAR lawsuit up on Twitter. Yeah, like this person said that was responding to that tweet. Denny is in an active lawsuit against NASCAR, so his ability to speak on this is highly limited, to say the least. Dale Jr. is a NASCAR team owner, so he would also need to be incredibly careful about what he says. The others have no excuse, in my opinion, especially Bianchi and Gluck. They're journalists, not affiliated with NASCAR in any way. They must, in capital letters, must is in all caps, cover this extensively. And yeah, I'm like wondering why Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck, they're waiting until next week for when the trial actually fucking begins. Like you can't like put out, I don't know, a pre podcast like before it like happens, like be like, this is what you need to be prepared for, guys. And I forget who it was. I believe it was Jeff Gluck being like, "This is our schedule. This is how I know that they're doing it next week. It's because they put out the schedule for their podcast." Let me see if I can find it. Easy to find because Jeff Gluck pinned it. The 23 slash front row versus NASCAR trial starts 1 week from today, December 1st. Trial covers plans from Jordan Bianchi and me. Daily news stories on the Atlantic. Daily podcasts on the Teardown feed. Dirty Mo Media. Note, we'll also have a big trial explainer story in the trial preview podcast to be posted Monday morning. So you're gonna wait, yeah, this Monday or next Monday? Next Monday. Somebody was like, this Monday or next Monday, and Jeff Gluck was like, next Monday. You gotta be fucking kidding me, Jeff Gluck. Like, mic drop. Like, and I'm wondering, I mean, obviously, they're going to go more in depth, not on the Atlantic, probably on podcast. And so we just reply to that. I believe the Atlantic has a deal for $1 a month for a year right now, too. They do? Wait, have I been saying it wrong? No, the Atlantic. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. It's the Athletic. It's the Athletic. Bruh. Atlantic and Athletic. They look in spelling so similar. Bruh. So, for the past couple of weeks when it's the Athletic. Sorry, guys. That's embarrassing. That's like really fucking embarrassing now. Like, that's embarrassing. I've been calling it the Atlantic when it's the Athletic. That's actually like really embarrassing. And now I didn't have to Google Translate to get it to like say out loud. Wait, hang on. Yeah, because it just popped that up. Hang on, my dog. Yeah, free for 7 days, then billed has $1 every 4 weeks for your first year, then $8 every 4 weeks thereafter. I'm gonna see if my card will go through when I only have like $2 left on my card. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna set my phone down. I hope y'all can hear me still. Enter password. Okay. Create account. Okay. Here we go. Wait. Okay, enter. Okay, we're gonna hope Yep. It says total due today $0.00. So my card should go through. Okay. I'm gonna try to go live every single day next week. So getting the athletic something good. Okay. I was able to get it. Sweet mama, we got it. Welcome to the athletic. Let's get started. Searching something, if I can spell. Select your favorite teams, leagues, and more. NASCAR. Had to search for that. That's the only thing I want is NASCAR. Don't want that. Start reading on red. I'm just going to search up an article that has to deal with this NASCAR lawsuit on the athletic, and I'm just going to read it to y'all. How long have I been live for? 22-ish minutes. Okay. Not that long. I want to be live for an hour, so prepare. It's loading. I don't know why. Refresh. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Yep. How do I search for something? There's the search. Enter. Search. Okay, there's the thing I just read, but it's on the athletic. See if there's anything else. Actually, no, this says it a bit differently. Okay, this is from the Athletic. Team owner Richard Childress weighing legal. Let me reread that. Team owner Richard Childress weighing legal action over NASCAR exec's insensitive text. NASCAR team owner Richard Childress and his Richard Childress Racing organization are contemplating legal action against the league over a string of text messages sent by NASCAR Commissioner Steve Phelps that were unsealed last week in the ongoing legal case between two other teams and NASCAR. And the August 2023 exchange, Phelps, then NASCAR's president, said Childress should be taken out back and flogged, and called him a stupid redneck who owes his entire fortune to NASCAR, while conversing with Brian Herbst, NASCAR chief media and revenue officer, about a radio appearance in which Childress was critical of the league. RCR and Richard Childress are deeply disappointed by the insensitive and defamatory statements made about Mr. Childress, the team said in a statement Monday. These comments reflect the way certain NASCAR executives have historically viewed and treated many team owners like Mr. Childress. Mr. Childress and the organization will issue no further statements regarding these or other defamatory text messages that have recently surfaced as legal action is being contemplated and discussed with legal counsel. Sorry, I'm trying to read fast. The exchange between Phelps and Herbst followed a Childress interview on Sirius XM NASCAR radio in which he criticized the next-gen car that teams race in the sport's Premier Cup Series and NASCAR's media rights deal that was still being negotiated. Both Phelps and Herbst were heavily involved in finalizing that deal. In 2023, Herbst responded to Phelps' remarks by saying, "Just listen to it hit. He is an idiot. So many false claims and or disingenuous statements." I need to take a drink because I'm talking so much. I'm not gonna have a voice on the end of this, golly. Okay. Like, rinse, like gargle it. Really? Mouth was so dry. NASCAR confirmed that Phelps reached out to Childress prior to the text being revealed to address the matter and say he regretted his language. Phelps could not be reached for comment. Interesting. Steve Phelps could not be reached. Bro, you probably turned his fucking phone off. The texts were unearthed Friday during the discovery process as part of the ongoing federal antitrust lawsuit NASCAR is facing from 2311 and Front Row Motorsports. In addition to winning 6 Cup Series titles with acclaimed driver Dale Earnhardt, Childress' blue-collar background and rough-and-tumble persona have made him one of the pillars of the sport, widely respected across the garage. He was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2017. Childress, who is currently 80 years old, has never been shy about expressing frustration with NASCAR leadership, including during the prolonged and continuous charter negotiations that are at the heart of 2311 and Front Row's suit against NASCAR and NASCAR CEO and chairman Jim French. NASCAR and 13 teams, including RCR, reached an agreement last September that extended the franchise-like charter system for 7 years and ensured increased guaranteed revenue levels to the teams. 2311 and Front Row were the only teams that did not sign the extension. The trial between NASCAR and 2311 and Front Row is set to begin December 1st. Childress is not on the witness list to testify. For now, he could be called. Richard Childress, if Richard Childress is called to testify, prepare for like rock motherfucking bottom. That's if NASCAR hasn't hit that yet. Was NASCAR has hit rock bottom? How they're just like sitting kind of semi afloat. I don't know. It breaks my heart that this is where we're at when it comes to like the state of the sport. Because back in 2016, that's when I got into NASCAR, and then I took a break and came back this year. The second week of July is when I got back into NASCAR. So that's about a 9-year break from NASCAR. I didn't realize when I get back into the sport that I didn't realize the state of the sport. Had I realized the state of the sport, I would have been like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna stick with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna stick with football." And because football is in a much better state of that sport than what NASCAR currently is, which is insane. Like, this is something I want to cry over. I'm gonna try not to, but I am. Because when I look back at 2016, now I'm not gonna lie, weird shit was going on in 2016. But I feel like it wasn't noticeable at all. And plus, there's still like a lot of GOAT drivers racing back then. Now like most of all the GOAT drivers have like retired. Like Dale Earnhardt Jr. was racing back then. And I'm talking like the years between like 2010 to 2000 like 17. Sorry. Trying to make myself more comfortable. I'm going to go back to 2015, 2000 just between the years of 2010 and 2017. Those were the GOAT years. I mean, hell, let's go back to the year 2000. I mean, earlier today I watched back the entirety of Dale Earnhardt Jr. getting his first Cup Series win in Texas. I watched that entire race today on YouTube. And it's crazy to think that was 25, almost 26 years ago. Not gonna lie, the end of that race, just seeing Dale Sr. be proud of his son. I'm not gonna emotional about it now. Like that's something for the week to see. Is that moment. Because that moment will bring you to your motherfucking knees to seeing a dad be proud of their son. Be happy for their son. Especially knowing the way Junior and his dad's relationship was like. And it sucks that at the ending of Senior's life is when they got really close as father and son. And to have that ripped away in 2001. I can't imagine, bro. I can't imagine being in Dale Jr.'s shoes on that day in February. I cannot imagine. Now I want to sit here and cry about it. Like, I wonder what it would be like if Senior was still here. Would he be proud of his son? Hell motherfucking yes, he would be. He would have 2 granddaughters, which is insane. And then, like, I wonder what his interactions with Wyatt, Kelly's son, would be like. Because Wyatt's racing. Like, I believe Wyatt's gonna be the next Miller/Earnhardt, who's a champion. Like, I believe that kid could be a NASCAR Cup Series champion, a multiple NASCAR Cup Series champion. Which is insane. Insane. Like, let me see if I can find an article that talks about Wyatt Miller and just how good he is for people that don't know. That much about Wyatt. Actually, let me just pull up, have ChatGPT pull something up. Yeah, I'm spelling synopsis wrong. Yeah, but hopefully ChatGPT gets what the word that I'm trying to spell is. Okay, I didn't spell Earnhardt right. Starts with an E. There we go. Okay, here we go. This is from ChatGPT. Here's a quick synopsis of Wyatt Miller, Kelly Earnhardt's son. Wyatt Miller is the young racing prodigy in the Earnhardt family, born to Kelly Earnhardt Miller and stepson to L.W. Miller. He's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s nephew and Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s grandson, so he comes from one of the most famous families in NASCAR racing career so far. Started racing outlaw karts in 2020, quickly became a standout, winning multiple championships. In 2021, began our box stock championship. 2020 In 2022, Restrictor Micro Championship at Millbridge Speedway. In 2025, he's racing full time in the Champ Off Road Pro Spec Truck Series. Sorry, hard to say. He's also running select micro sprint races and making his steps into late model racing on both dirt and pavement. Known for being super natural behind the wheel at a young age, very competitive, and already highly watched because of his family's legacy. Personality slash fun stuff. Outdoorsy kid. Loves fishing, dirt bikes, sim racing, and hanging out around the shop. He's very close to his family and often appears in Dale Jr.'s content or Junior Motorsports videos. Okay, I want to see how I can compare him to a certain driver. Let's see here. Who's like a goat driver? Connor Zillage. How he, because I want you to really get how he compares. Sorry again, it's to Connor. Make sure I spell Connor Zillage's name right. That's not Zilo. SGH, I believe. Okay, here's how he compares to Connor Zillage. Age and experience. Wyatt Miller, very young, early teens. Still in the development stages. Outlaw carts, micros, off-road trucks, and just starting late models. Racing purely in the youth slash entry-level series so far. Connor Zillage, older, born 2006, already a professional level driver, has raced late models, ARCA, Trans Am, IMSA, Cars Tour, and is signed to Trackhouse. Raced against adults for several years. Advantage: Connor Zillage, way more experience. Wall speed and natural talent. Both are extremely natural talented, but Wyatt shows impressive natural ability at a very young age. Consistently wins in his age bracket in new divisions he steps into. Shows maturity and racecraft beyond his age. Connor, known nationwide for his raw speed, dominates in nearly every series he enters. Won huge races against grown, experienced drivers. Advantage: Connor for now, but Wyatt's trajectory is strong. Racing resume so far: Wyatt Miller, championships in outlaw karts and microspins, full-time pro spec off-road driver in 2025, beginning late model career, both pavement and dirt. Connor Zillage, Trans Am champion at 16, multiple wins in Car Store ARCA IMSA, nearly won his NASCAR truck debut. Signed to Trackhouse Cup Series pipeline, considered one of the best prospects in all of racing. Advantage: Connor, he's already in national level motorsports. Long term potential. Wyatt Miller has huge potential because of early start, Earnhardt racing background and resources, natural skill, still developing. His ceiling is very high but still unknown. Connor Zillage, already proven, expected to be a future NASCAR Cup star. Elite level talent with wins across multiple dis- disciplines. Advantage: Connor right now, but White could catch up depending on how he develops through his teenage years. Quick summary: Connor Gillis is currently the most accomplished and polished driver, already competing at pro levels. Wyatt Miller is younger, but extremely promising with the talent and resources to potentially be a NASCAR star in the future. Thought I was going to burp. Thought I was going to burp. This is like comparing a middle school phenom to a college level star, both talented, just at different stages. Okay, between Connor Zillis and Wyatt Miller, who do I think could win the Cup championship first? Connersville is because Connersville will be in the Cup series for many years before Wyatt is even in that's if Wyatt Miller ends up being so good that he is able in the future and not so far but not so far distant future. Uh, I think Connersville wins a championship and Cup before Wyatt won because, like I just said, Connersville will be in Cup multiple years before Wyatt Miller is. And Connersville doesn't have a NASCAR championship at all. It doesn't have one in truck. Doesn't have one in Xfinity, and obviously doesn't have one in Cup yet because he doesn't race full time in Cup yet. But he's 6-2 next year, so do I hope he wins the championship next year in Cup and gets it in his rookie year? Not really, because I'm like Denny Hamlin next year. I'm putting that in the year for next year because I just need Denny Hamlin to get that. Yes, I would really wish he got it this year. Me, imagine if he did. Like it would have been an for sure, like a fuck you to NASCAR for sure. Like that would have been like, oh no, hell would have been broken loose because Denny Hamlin is suing NASCAR. He's part of 2311. He's part team owner with Michael Jordan when it comes to 2311. So how long have I been live for? 42 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna be live for 25 more minutes. And let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about NASCAR race. I just popped out the chat so I can see it now on my other screen. Yeah. So if there's anything you want me to talk about NASCAR race, I'm not affiliated with NASCAR in any way. I mean, if I say something that I feel like will get me in trouble, obviously the word allegedly will be thrown in there. But yeah, I'm willing to talk about anything. Plus, if I don't know it, I got ChatGPT and I got the fucking internet at my fingertips. I I still haven't watched back NASCAR's docu-series Rising. That video is still coming within the next couple of weeks. I have to watch it back, and then while I'm watching it, make bullet pointed list about what I want to talk about for the deep dive into the show. Uh, but at the same time, I might just let that video be posted next year because I just really want to focus on this NASCAR lawsuit shit and not even have to think about that. I mean, I'm thinking about going live every single day next week. At the end of the day, at the end of the day of like at the end of Monday, at the end of the day of Tuesday, at the end of the day of Wednesday, because obviously it's probably gonna be late in the day before everything comes out that happened in court. It's probably just better to wait till the end of the day to go live. I mean, I definitely, most likely will just post YouTube shorts or just post a YouTube video instead of going live because it's better mic quality and it's better video quality. It'll just take longer for me to get the video or whatever out to y'all. It was like a video because obviously I would have to edit it and then wait for it to export, and then knowing how long the video is will depend on how long it exports. Which this live is like I want it to be an hour long, so knowing me, I'm gonna want to sit in front of a camera for an hour talking about shit. My ADHD is so bad that I'll probably go on a tangent about fucking, I don't know, cereal in the video. And if I do that, I'm gonna do my best to cut that part out. If it has nothing to do with the NASCAR lawsuit, I'm trimming that shit the fuck out. Because literally the title of the video will be NASCAR. Now let's see if there's anything else here I want to talk about when it comes to NASCAR. Trying to see if there's anything on the Athletic I want to read. There's like one more thing that doesn't even have to do with the lawsuit. There's anything in general NASCAR related. Okay, let's read this one. Open me tab. Okay, this is on the Athletic. Oh, this was posted February 15th of 2023. It was updated on November 8th of 2023. This is from 2 years ago. So take this with a grain of salt now, I guess. Best NASCAR Cup drivers of all time. Who has the best case for number one? The greatest of all time debate in football. There isn't one. It's Tom Brady. I'm, all I say is I don't believe it's Tom Brady. I do think Tom Brady is one of the GOATs, though. One of the GOATs. He's not the number one, in my opinion. I'll say somebody who plays on the Kansas City Chiefs football team is one of the GOATs. And I'll literally say this, it's between two people. Y'all guess who it is for me. Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce. Hockey easy is Wayne Gretzky. I don't watch hockey, so I wouldn't know that's Wayne Gretzky. In the NBA, there's certainly a conversation to be had. Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Hate to say it, LeBron motherfucking James. But in NASCAR, the picture is murkier. Despite strong opinions throughout the fan base and the garage, it's a toss-up between five guys. Not the restaurant, fast food, whatever it is. LOL. I'm saying that. It doesn't say anything about fast food. It's a toss-up between five guys, Kyle Busch said. It's always up for debate. In other sports, you can kind of say one guy is a GOAT, but ours is hard to pick. Has Bush suspected there were indeed five drivers who received at least one first-place vote from our 26-member panel during the selection process for the for the for the Athletics 75 greatest. I cannot read today. Has Bush suspected there were indeed five drivers who received at least one first-place vote from our 26-member panel during the selection process for the Athletics 75 greatest NASCAR Cup Series drivers voting. If you missed previous installments, here's, well, number 75 through 50, blah, blah, blah. Here's how the numbers stuck out with a case for and against each person to be number one. Okay, case A. Or why is there an A there? Oh, since we're the athletic, golly. Number 5, Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon. Years active, 1992 to 2016. Cup Series wins, 93. Championships, 4. 1995, 1997, 1998, 2001. Number of first place votes out of 26, 2. Lower penalty ranking, 6. The case for Gordon. If he stays healthy and with the right team, Jeff Gordon could probably accomplish more than Richard Petty and I ever thought about accomplishing. That's a Dale Earnhardt Sr. quote from the Newport News, VA Daily Press in 1995, a year when Gordon won 7 races and beat Earnhardt for the championship in just his 3rd season. But that was only the start of a breathtaking 5-year run that saw Gordon win 3 more titles and a total of 47 races, all by the age of 28. That legendary late 90s romp saw Gordon get double digit wins for 3 straight seasons, including his astonishing 13 win campaign in 1998. Since then, only 2 drivers have reached 10 wins in a year: Jimmy Johnson in 2007 and Kyle Larson in 2021. Gordon added a fourth championship in 2001 and then had 9 more seasons in which he won multiple races. His resume includes a whopping 17 Crown Jewel victories, 3 Daytona 500s, 6 Southern 500s, 5 Brickyard 400s, and 3 Coca-Cola 600s. And though this isn't a factor in how his greatness is viewed, Gordon's mainstream friendly image helped push NASCAR into acceptance from the corporate world. Okay, hold on. How long have I been alive now? 51 minutes, okay. Now the case against Gordon. Gordon's GOAT argument has a Jimmy Johnson problem. The driver Gordon handpicked out of obscurity to drive the number 48 car at Hendrick Motorsports ended up surpassing him in the eyes of many observers. Using the driver comparison tool on racingreference.info, the numbers tell the story. The teammates competed in 515 races together and were largely viewed to have similar equipment, but Johnson finished higher than Gordon 56% of the time. During their overlap of full-time seasons, Johnson won 76 races to Gordon's 35 and 6 titles to Gordon's 0. Excuse me. Gordon Gordon arguably should have been the champion in 2007, a year in which he had 30 top 10 finishes and easily would have done so under the former point system, but Johnson snatched that title away after winning 4 straight races in the chase, which gave more weight to his supporters in the GOAT debate. Johnson might have taken some championships away, but Gordon said his teammate also forced him to raise his competitive level. I thought I had things figured out, and then Jimmy Johnson comes along and starts beating me on a regular basis, Gordon said in 2019. It forced me to look within myself and go, okay, what am I doing? What am I not doing? What more can I do? He elevated my game, and that to me is when a driver's performance on track leaves a legacy behind to other performers or athletes around the track. Okay, this is probably gonna be one of my favorites. Here we go. Number 4, Dale Earnhardt Sr. Years active 1975 to 2001. Cup Series wins 76. Championships 7. 1980, 1986, 1987, 1990, 1991, 1993, 1994. God damn, senior. Number of first place votes out of 26. 3. Lowest panel ranking 10. The case for Earnhardt. For years, Denny Hamlin thought the NASCAR GOAT was Jimmy Johnson. Racing with him, I think he's the best there ever was, Hamlin said in 2013. He's racing against competition that is tougher than this sport's ever seen. But during the off-season, when compiling a Twitter ranking of the top drivers of all time, Hamlin put a different name atop his list: Dale Earnhardt. Why? Generally speaking, he got the most out of the car he had. Right from the get-go, Hamlin said, I hate I never got to race against him, but just from what you saw as a fan and as someone who is in the sport, it was just amazing the moves he made. That's really the crux of the pro Earnhardt argument: his otherworldly talent and the mystique that surrounded it, like his mythical ability to see the air at super speedways. Otherwise, the pure numbers aren't there, the way they stack up for others on NASCAR's Mount Rushmore. Earnhardt is tied with Johnson and Richard Petty with 7 championships, but it was his skill level, car control, grit, and intimidator persona that captured the public's imagination. Sure, he won 3 Southern 500s and 3 Coca-Cola 600s, plus the Brickyard 400 and famously the 1998 Daytona 500. But some of Earnhardt's most notable moments were Jaw droppers like the 1987 pass in the grass at the All Star race or his final victory in 2000 when he went from 18th to 1st in the final 4 laps at Talladega. Upon his death in 2001, an accident that served as a catalyst for the NASCAR, for the NASCAR safety revolution, Bill France Jr. declared NASCAR has lost its greatest driver ever. The case against Earnhardt. Okay, this part I'm not gonna like. Earnhardt has Earnhardt has the fewest wins amongst the drivers in GOAT consideration, and also has the lowest winning percentage, 11.2% with let me read 11.2% was ranked number 18 at all time. It's because I'm talking so much and talking so fast and I'm thirsty again that I can't read. That won't sit well with Earnhardt's supporters, just as it didn't when Richard Petty made some controversial remarks to that effect in June 2001. He really didn't win that many races, Petty said. He wasn't that dominant of a driver. He was an exciting driver to watch, whether he was running 10th or 13th or leading the race. The races he ran against Cole Yarborough or Bobby Allison or Darrell Waltrip, he was just okay. He was not a standout when you came to that part of it, but he met the criteria the fans wanted and excitement. They could bond to him. There are a couple of things to unpack there. One, let's look at the assertion he wasn't dominant in races against the Yarborough slash Allison slash Waltrip trio and using racing references comparison tool again. In the 191 races he ran against Yarborough, they almost had an even split. Yarborough had a 96 to 95 edge, but Yarborough won 25 races during that time to Earnhardt's 19. In the 286 races he ran against Allison, the leader of the Alabama gang held a 149 to 133 advantage, and they had the same number of wins, 33. But there was a much bigger overlap with Waltrip, 656 races, and Earnhardt has a sizable margin there, 383 to 273. He also won 72 of his career races during that time, while Waltrip had 68 wins. That said, those comparisons might not have mattered if Earnhardt won an eighth championship and stood alone at the top. After all, his career was incomplete. He was 49 at the time of his Daytona 500 accident, but also coming off a season in which he had a second place finish in the point standings. Okay, how long have I been alive? 58 minutes. Okay. Y'all see anything in the comments? No. Okay. I'm actually going to start to close out this live here. Next week, I'll let y'all know what I'm going to do when it comes to the NASCAR lawsuit, whether I'm going to go live like I did today, what I'm going to do. Next week, though, people, I would buckle up. It's going to be insane. I'm not prepared for it at all. But yeah, sorry, I needed a drink. But I'm gonna go back to watching TV. And y'all can see the reflection of this live stream on my phone. Say hello. But yeah, I'm in this live stream here. Deuces. Peace, guys. Bye.